Timothy O. Hicken.
Oh, man, I can't find our
Jane.
committee announcement. Ooh, that's cool.
We are now recording.
Ah,
Of course.
jeez, Louise. Are we recording?
Yes.
Great, okay. Call this meeting of the Pataskala City Council Human Resources Committee to order. Kathy, would you call the roll, please?
Barstow,
Here.
Carter.
Here.
Hampshire.
Here.
Very good, we have a quorum. The first and only order of business is to discuss the contracted employee evaluations. And so just let me put on the record what the issue is here. We have, the employee evaluations cover the city administrator, the finance director, and the law director. However, we have three new, so the evaluations for 2019, we should be putting those out. The problem is we have three new council members who were not here in 2019 and would only have vicarious impressions of the three people they would need to evaluate. And we also have a council member who does not participate in the employee evaluations. So it leaves three people, Barstow, Lee, and Carter, as the three people who would do the evaluations. So my question would be for the committee, and then Mr. Hicken is here to maybe chime in on how these three folks, especially Mr. Nicholson, would feel about being evaluated by three people, not being evaluated. So I'm just going to throw that out there for discussion. Discuss.
Well, I mean, don't their contracts read that we have to do an evaluation?
I think they do. I don't know. I don't have the contracts in front of me.
I thought we put that in in all of the contracts.
Having just reviewed one of them, my own, I do not recall a annual mentioning, although I do recall something along the lines of council will furnish the city administrator with evaluations. I don't know that it says annual, but it might. I don't remember. I would probably say that Mr. Nicholson would feel like, you have two options here, and I haven't discussed this with anybody in this group yet, is ask the three people that usually do them to do them and call it square. Or say, look, you've got three brand new people and one that doesn't do it. You've also got an administrator that's been on the job for 52 days. Clearly, it would not be fair to judge him.
Well, that's the second discussion point, Mr. Hicken.
Yeah, I'm ready.
So,
I've got all kinds of
yeah, I
judgments.
mean,
I'm sorry,
I guess
the
I'm
mayor
kinda-
does, the mayor puts in evaluation as well. I'm sorry, I left the mayor.
That's quite right.
And I guess that would be four, because Mike does do it religiously, he does take it seriously, so that would be four people that Lee, Carter, and Barstow. I don't know that Mr. Walters says he won't do it.
He will not.
Okay.
When I tried to give him the evaluation forms, he refused them.
Okay, I wasn't aware of that, but that's, so I guess I'm almost, it sounds self-serving, but I'm kind of leaning towards saying, it makes more sense to put them off until I have more time under my belt and the council members have more time under their belt to judge Brian and Jamie. I
Okay.
know, we should look at the contracts to make sure that that's allowed. If it's not allowed and they absolutely are due the reviews, I would probably, when I was president of council, and somebody new had just come on board, I did not require them to do evaluations of Mr. Zetz, Mr. King, and Mr. Nicholson, because it just made no sense for somebody to have been on the council for 3 months and try to determine, your head's swimming
Right.
like crazy as a person, so. So as long as it's okay, that would probably be my recommendation to this group. Of course, it's your choice. I don't mean it to sound, like I said, it sounds self-serving, but it's really not.
Well, Ms. Hampshire, is
Well,
it okay with you if you don't have to do employee evaluations for 3 people this year?
I'm okay either way, but as new council members, we vote on things that we weren't here for, we comment on things, so why would this be any different than to look at? There's plenty of things you can look at,
Okay.
so I wouldn't have a problem with evaluating someone
Well, this would be for 2019.
for the
So
previous year.
it's the previous year, so you would not have, you wouldn't have been a council member. You wouldn't have observed that person as a council member working for the city. It's for 2019. Mr. Reckon, I will say this, due to the lack of leadership by the council president in 2019, the 2018 evaluations didn't get done. We did not evaluate in 2018, I don't believe. That just, last year was not a good year for me, and it just kind of slipped through the cracks, and by the time I realized what had happened, I was off busy running for council again, so it just all kind of slid on the ice. So we have 2 people, that was Mr. Zetz and Mr. Nicholson, that didn't get evaluated in 2018. Mr. King's no longer here, so I'm kind of leaning towards getting as many evaluations as we can for Mr. Nicholson and Mr. Zetz. From talking to Mr. Zetz, it's not a big deal with him. I mean, he's not.
With him, on a more consistent basis, council probably votes with their renewal.
Right, and so we renewed we just renewed his contract, so, Ms. Carter, or Mayor?
I would say that we should do them to the capacity that we can. Regardless of how few participants or how that actually turns out, I think that, we should. So it'd really only be for Jamie and,
It would only be for Jamie and
And
Brian, and it would only be the 3 council members and then the mayor, so I think okay?
I think yes.
And I'll print them out and give the evaluation forms to the new council members, to Ms. Hampshire, to Mr. Gaelic, Mr. Epperson, so they can at least see them and see what they look like and kind of know for the 2020 year when they evaluate next year, they have it and they can get some idea. So,
That's
okay, I'll do
probably
that. Okay. All right, that's good. Then we'll get them, I'll get those forms out to everybody and collect them back up, speak for the 2 folks, and I think that's probably the best way to go, since we didn't, unfortunately, I didn't get that done for 18 and 19. Anybody else have anything? I think this is a single purpose meeting, so anything else, Mayor? No? Okay, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Kathy, would you call the roll, please?
Barstow,
Yes.
Carter,
Yes.
Hampshire.
Yes.
Meeting adjourned. Thank you.
Well done. It's later on in the year.